the middle of the dry, cracked plains, the wild dogs are exhausted after defeat. But their instincts have never given up. In a place where death lurks at every step, will they have enough strength to stand up and survive another day? Wild Botswana. Wild dogs survive after a fierce battle. In the middle of the burning Okavango Delta, the dry wind blows through the broken yellow grass stalks. Under the scorching sun of Botswana, fragile life still clings to every inch of land. In a place where blood and dust mix together, there is only one law. The strongest is not the most brutal, but the one who knows how to unite to survive. After a bloody confrontation with the leopard, the African wild dogs retreat in silence. They carry with them the scent of the fallen and the wounds of their kind. Victory is not sweet, only the breath is deep because of prolonged hunger. The ground is cracked, the water has dried up. This time of year, all creatures become harsh, and the dogs understand that only discipline can keep them from the edge between life and death. They move as a unified flow. Each step is regular, ears perked up listening to every movement around the grassland. Not a bark, no chaos. Each individual knows his place, the leader, the besieger, the rear guard. The silence is not fear, but the ancient language of a species that has learned to coexist over thousands of years of evolution. In the distance, a lone wildebeest is separating from the herd. Its body is tall and strong, but its legs show signs of fatigue. A rare opportunity in a long hunger. Big prey, big risk of predation. The dogs carefully lower their bodies, scattering in an arc. The leader's eyes flash, the signal to start a hunt. They rush like the wind, simultaneously turning their sharp points towards the prey. The wildebeest roared, turning its body, horns lowered, ready to fight back. The first meal after many days of hunger. They ate together. Each one had his turn. Even the pups had their share. That was the order and the true strength of the pack. When their bellies were full, the pack split up. Between the roots of the trees, the pregnant female would leave the pack, looking for other lands. In the world of wild dogs, giving birth is a lonely but sacred journey, instinct guiding every step, from digging a burrow to hiding her scent to avoid predators. About 70 days after conception, the pack fell silent in the hours of waiting. Then, in the quiet of the night, a faint breathing sound echoed underground. The pups were born, small and almost helpless. During the first weeks, they hardly left the burrow. Their eyes only opened after 2 weeks. The mother rarely left, living on the prey brought back by the other members. In the African wild dog pack, every individual contributed to raising the new generation. The males bring food from a distance, regurgitating it for the mother and pups to eat. The other pups stand guard, alert for danger. It is this bond that makes them one of the most tightly knit social systems in nature. When they are a month old, the puppies begin to crawl out of their burrows, toddling on their weak legs. They learn to play, chase each other around the tree roots. Their first lessons in reflexes, speed, and pack order. The new life breathes a different energy into the pack, peaceful, bright, and hopeful. However, in Botswana, peace never lasts long. The dry season is approaching. The moisture in the air is depleted. The last mud puddles are about to disappear. As the last moisture in the air gradually dissipates, the Okavango Delta begins to change color. The mud puddles are cracked. The ground is as dry as stone. Further downstream, where the remaining water flows, life is still trying to cling. And there, another one is waiting. Water, the only hope of the dry season, is the most dangerous place. Beneath the calm, dark surface of the water, something older than dogs lurks, a creature that has existed since the steppe was covered in prehistoric mist. The Nile crocodile, the most patient ambush hunter on the planet. They do not chase, do not make noise. Each bite is a death rising from the depths of the water. The body is more than 4 meters long, weighs nearly half a ton, perfectly hidden in the murky brown water of the plain. The thick, rough skin, like a prehistoric armor, reflects the sunlight into cold steel scales. The glowing yellow eyes float above the water, motionless for hours. But behind that silence is a hunting machine with ruthless precision. The teeth are enough to crush large bones or turtle shells in a single bite. Hundreds of conical teeth grow in 2 thick rows, constantly replaced throughout life, ensuring that this weapon never becomes dull. No creature can escape that terrifying pressure. But the crocodile is more than just a killing machine. It is a symbol of patience and balance in the ecosystem. The wild dogs have never retreated before any land predator. But water is an unfamiliar territory. Thirst makes them take risks. In the heat of nearly 40 degrees, water is the only thing more important than food. One by one, they step down to the riverbank, hastily drinking water to rest. They do not realize the danger approaching. In that moment, the water exploded. Roars, mixed with barks, rang out. Foam, mud, and dust flew up in the air. With a single bite, the dog was pulled deep into the water. Only spreading circles remained. The whole pack stood still, not barking, not running. The leader retreated, his eyes heavy. They understood that this water did not belong to them. In Botswana, life always came at a price. Under the murky water, the crocodile slowly returned to the riverbed. It did not know the name of the dead man, nor did it care. In this world, whoever was thirsty, whoever was weak, whoever was a step behind, would become a meal for someone else. On the dry, cracked ground, as the panic faded, the pack of wild dogs left in silence. The afternoon sun fell, dragging the shadows along the scorched grass. Life once again retreated to a state of waiting. Only the smell of blood lingered on the water's edge, spreading in the hot wind. Further, among the low reeds, another figure appeared. Small, walking lightly. But with a sharp and calculating gaze. Chacal, the jackal of the savanna, who always knew how to take advantage of others' mistakes. Not as strong as a lion, not as agile as a leopard, Chacal survived thanks to intelligence. Its every move was a balancing act between danger and opportunity. Its large ears pricked up, picking up every sound, while its wet, sensitive nose tracked the scent of those who had just left. In the world of chacals, the last to arrive was not the weakest, but the wisest. He inched his way to the river's edge, where the wild dog had sunk. The scent was still strong in the wind, and there, perhaps, lay the reward for someone bold enough. But Chacal was in no hurry. He stopped, raised his head, and looked at the mirror-like surface of the water. His yellow eyes reflected his own, and his instinctive fear. Down below, the shadow of death was still drifting. Chacal took a few steps back, then turned away. He knew that the river always reserved its share. But further away, Where the antelope herds moved across the drying savanna, other food awaited. Dawn dyes the Okavango Delta a golden yellow. Dew lingers on the grass, and the first insects of the day mingle with the bird song that echoes across the steppe. In the dim light, the chacal has long since risen. Ears erect, wet nostrils quivering, it hears and smells everything. Today, there are no more carcasses to scavenge. Today, it must hunt for real. Ahead, among the grass, a flock of guinea fowls are foraging. Their blue-gray plumage glitters with white. Their heads are bare. Their crests are small like crowns. They move in large numbers, bustling and noisy, unaware of danger. For the chacal, this is the perfect meal. Compact, high energy. Low risk. It lowers itself to the grass, tail flicking gently to maintain balance. Every muscle is tense, like a bowstring about to snap. Chacal lacked speed, but he made up for it with calculation. He knew how to wait, observe, and choose the right moment. In the flock, if only one bird broke away, everything would begin. Guinea fowl was busy preening its wings, a few beats slower. That was the signal. Chacal crept up step by step, absolutely silent. The wind was favorable. The tall grass covered half its body. The distance was now only a few meters. A jump. Jackal rushed out. The flock flapped its wings wildly. Chacal stopped, standing in the middle of the open grass. It was not angry. Not disappointed. Just quietly watching the direction the flock flew away. In this world, failure is not the end. It is just part of the rhythm of survival. In Botswana, wisdom is sometimes more valuable than strength. And in a land where life is measured by breath, The smallest hunter, the jackal, still quietly asserts its position, with patience and ancient wisdom. The sun has risen high, the harsh white sunlight pouring down on the grassland like fire. All creatures retreat into the shade. The jackal also lies under a dry acacia tree, listening to the rustling wind. In the sweltering heat of noon, hunger returns, smoldering and persistent. This time, the jackal does not hunt alone. The pair have been together for many years, raising their young and protecting their territory. At the edge of the grassland, a new opportunity comes. A small antelope, standing in the undergrowth. Its mother had left to find water. Jackal walked slowly, crouching low to the ground. A swift bite, painless, without a cry. In the distance, the sun is gradually setting, covering the grasslands in a red color. Everything looks strangely peaceful. The pack of wild dogs, after so many losses, continues their journey, constantly moving, constantly searching. Each of their steps is a testament to the strength of solidarity, to the spirit that never gives up in adversity. The crocodile still patiently plays its role, ensuring that no life is wasted in the ecological circle. And the jackal is the delicate balance of nature. It cleans up the remnants of life, keeping the plains from being filled with the smell of death. Every species in this world, big or small, fierce or weak, holds its own place. Inseparable links in the endless music of life. No one is insignificant. No victory is eternal. What about you? If you stood in the middle of this land, where survival is measured by every breath, which species would you choose to become? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to continue exploring other spectacular survival stories with us.
Serengeti, the battlefield of life and death. Dawn is rising over the Serengeti. The first light creeps over the horizon, covering the grasslands in a gentle, hazy layer of pale gold. The whole space seems to pause in an eternal moment, breathtakingly beautiful. A serenity so profound that it makes one forget that here, life always comes with danger. But in the Serengeti, peace is just a fragile shell. Under the gentle breezes that blow through the chest-high grass, a few faint movements begin to appear. Dark figures move slowly, hunched, necks low, ears erect. No need to roar, no need to run. Just silently moving through the grass like ghosts. That is the spotted hyena. They do not wait for the night to hunt. They do not need the speed of a leopard. They do not possess the strength of a lion. They are the embodiment of patience, strategy, and cold, ruthless determination. The hyena's eyes shine gold in the early morning sun, not because of the light, but because they have smelled meat. The smell of dung, dirt, and the most haunting, old blood, all swirling on the wind, guiding the way. In the distance, a herd of Senegal antelope moves slowly through a gap between two acacia bushes. Their reddish-brown fur glistens in the morning sun. Their ears swivel like living antennae, scanning the world around them for signals. But there is no sign that they are being followed. In the tall grass, a gentle movement splits the air. No shadow, no sound, only the gaze, golden, deep, steady. A cub strays to the edge of the herd, and that is enough. The wind was favorable. The moment was ripe, no alarm, no hissing. The hyenas moved like a wave, a quick encirclement, a decisive pounce, and the hunt was over before the sun rose above the trees. No roar, no gloating. Just the sound of flesh tearing, bone cracking, and eyes constantly scanning the area. Always alert for another predator. It was the prize. But keeping it was the real victory. The ground beneath them was cracked like scorched hide. The pungent smell of dust and dried dung hung in the air. The rains had not yet arrived, and the grasslands were dying in silence. A few days later, the food was gone. There was no more carrion, no more fresh blood. The wind carried only hoarse cries and lost eyes. The pack was now scattered, broken, suspicious, and dangerous to each other. Hunger was no longer a feeling. It became a state, a part of the gaze, of the breath, of the limp that could no longer conceal the decay of trust. Heads that had been bowed low began to lift, to examine each other. The line between kin and rival was blurred. No warning, no hissing, no hierarchical ritual. They rushed at each other. The first bite tore the fur off the neck. Blood spurted, a howl resounded. One was bitten, did not run, it bit back at the opponent's snout. The fight back, not for honor, but for life. The others did not stop. They joined. There was no longer a pack, only the instinct to survive. Feathers were torn from skin. Flesh was torn. One fell, its belly split open, its intestines spilling onto the ground. But even in its death throes, it still bit the leg of the one who had humbled it. A final bite, not for revenge, but for hunger. The pack, once forged in blood, discipline and cooperation, was now shattered. The old rules were gone. All that remained was bone, teeth, and a naked instinct screaming for survival. As the sun sank behind the steel-red horizon, only broken bodies remained. The few survivors dragged themselves into the darkness, their mouths still stained with the blood of their own kind. And in the Serengeti, where each dawn begins with nature's sentence, that was all that was needed. In the middle of the blazing Serengeti grasslands, the sun was burning the air with a harsh white light, making the ground explode in waves of heat. The wind was still, not a single acacia branch was moving, and nothing could block the heat from above. However, at the edge of the only tree in sight, a figure appeared. Unhurried, unhidden. It was an adult lioness, the core member of a local pride that dominated this land. Her fur was a pale golden color, blending perfectly with the burnt grass, allowing her to disappear completely when necessary. Her body was long and powerful, her shoulders and hips were thickly muscled, and her sinew stood out clearly under her tanned skin. Unlike the male lions who had manes, the female lions were built for speed, agility, and organization, and they were the main hunting machines of the pride. An adult lioness can weigh between 120 and 180 kgs and live for about 10 to 14 years in the wild. But longevity does not guarantee power. Her social status is tied to her role in the pride. Lionesses are not just hunters. They are the heart of the social structure, raising cubs, teaching survival skills, and passing on territorial memories to the next generation. A lion pride is one of the few big cats that live in groups. Usually consisting of 2 to 3 males, 6 to 12 females, and cubs. Each lioness in the pride is related by blood, being sisters, mothers, aunts, and nieces, creating a close cooperative system, especially in caring for cubs and hunting in groups. The breeding season is not fixed. When a lioness enters estrus, which usually lasts 4 to 8 days, she will actively seek out males in the pride. Unlike the ferocity of hunting, mating in lions occurs at a very high frequency. A pair can mate up to 40 times a day. The mating sessions are short, sometimes only a few dozen seconds, but continuous to ensure conception and prevent the male from leaving to mate with another female. After successful mating, the gestation period lasts about 110 days. When close to giving birth, the female lion will leave the pride, find a secluded place in the bushes or rocks to give birth. Usually only 1 to 4 cubs are born. Weighing about 1 to 2 kg with leopard-like spotted fur, this stripe gradually fades as they grow up. During the first few weeks, the cubs are completely dependent on their mother, cannot walk, and cannot eat anything other than milk. During that time, the female lion hides her cubs from the pride to avoid being eaten, even by the males in the pride or other predators such as hyenas and leopards. Under the midday sun of the Serengeti, the lion pride has not left yet. The temperature continued to rise, but the shadows of the predators crept silently across the scorched grass. At the front edge of the group, an adult lioness was a few paces ahead, walking gracefully, her eyes fixed on the distance, where a herd of wildebeest had gathered in the low grass. This was not a female who had just given birth, not one who was shouldering the burden of motherhood, but a true hunter. Her belly was slim, her coat evenly tanned, showing no signs of nursing or being in heat. Instead, there was the calmness of one accustomed to distance, to wind, to waiting and determination. Her Her experienced gaze revealed the experience of many dry seasons, many missed hunts, and even bloody territorial challenges. The afternoon wind was as still as if holding its breath. On the vast plain, the ground was dark with heat. The edges of the dry grass curled as if roasted, and even the sound of insects faded, giving way to the kind of thick silence that precedes a fatal blow. In the burning yellow grass, nothing stood still. A group of lionesses were crouching low, moving close to the ground. No hurry, no signs. Each step was a precise measurement: distance, wind direction, the movement of prey. In the center, the oldest lioness led the way. Not necessarily the strongest, but the most experienced, with superior judgment. Her eyes locked on a single individual in the wildebeest herd scattered along the edge of the hollow. A young male, his gait offbeat, an alarming distance from the herd. The grassland seemed to be asleep, but the hunt had begun. It was a mature wildebeest bull, but still young, with an awkward gait, his head held higher than the more experienced ones, not keeping an even distance from the herd. Perhaps this was his first migration season. He had not yet absorbed the discipline of the herd. He did not know that the space between him and the herd was a hanging death sentence. Wildebeests are not slow, on the contrary. They run very fast, can reach 80 km/h. But speed is not everything. Reflexes, alertness, and understanding of the terrain are the decisive factors. And that the young wildebeest did not have. From the low grass, the pride of lionesses split in many directions. One kept in front. One circled from the left. One sneaked behind. The plan was formed. Everything happened in absolute silence. Only the sound of footsteps trampling on the dry grass was like the quiet, low notes of a deathly symphony. The wildebeest suddenly realized that something was wrong. Ears pricked up, nostrils twitched. It turned its head. And at that moment, the lioness in front of it charged forward like a golden shadow, dust rising like a wave. The antelope reacted instinctively, turning and running. But it could only run in the direction the other two were waiting for. There was no escape. A precise pounce from the left sent the antelope crashing to the ground. Its legs thrashed wildly, its horns jerked, but its claws were already deep in its neck. The second lion pinned its chest, clamping its hind legs. And then the fateful bite. Fangs sank into its throat. No blood spurted, just a soft, choking sound. Then silence. The dust had not settled. The grass had not yet sprung back. The herd of antelopes in the distance was still running, but no one turned their heads. Instinct told them, if you run, you live. The lionesses stood around the carcass. No roaring, no fighting. Their heads bowed, not in respect, but in the knowledge that the meal was the reward for perfect coordination. And in the blazing sun of the Serengeti, where there is no room for naivety, every moment was an unannounced test. Those who passed lived. Those who were not ready became part of a chain of life extended by claws and teeth. The midday sun still beat down on the Serengeti grasslands like an unwavering curtain of fire. The dry grass swayed gently in the wind, but it could not ease the tension that had just subsided after the hunt. In the distance, the wildebeest continued to move, without a moment's pause, without a backward glance. The death of an individual was accepted, overcome, as if it had never happened, because here life did not stop to mourn. On the ground, still stained with blood, the lions had begun their meal. There was no roaring, no fighting. They ate in silence, an order formed by instinct and a role established over the years. It was not cruelty, nor was it victory. It was just another link in the closed circle of nature. When the meal was over, the lions stood up, shook the dust off their shoulders, and quietly left in the hot sun. They did not look back. There was no need to look back, for the cycle would continue, with or without them. But today they survived. They perpetuated their species. They kept their place in the complex and ruthless web of the wild. And as the sun began to set in the west, their shadows lengthened across the grasslands, not just as the figures of predators, but as living symbols of ancient strength, coordination and order, as old as the savanna had roared and the footprints of dinosaurs had not yet been erased.